You need to hire a video editor. In 2025, we are finding ourselves competing against every single person creating content. And when we're not actually using someone to edit our videos, we're probably got this like white noise thing going on where people are just not noticing us because they're noticing everybody else. And so in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to hire a great video editor, the process to go through, so that way you don't have to hire a ton of people and keep doing it over and over and over again. So welcome back to another episode of the Keenya Kelly podcast, where we talk about all things social media, business, and all the things. We do have a new name for the show. So it used to be called the Keenya Kelly podcast. Now it's called the If You Create It podcast. So you can find it in the App Store. But anyway, today we're talking about how to hire a video editor. Now, it is needed to be said that for the longest time, I did not have a video editor. I was out here doing my CapCut thing, not knowing what I was doing and trying to get my team to do the CapCut thing. And we finally bit the bullet. And I wanted to tell you what my process has been like to do so as we have been on this journey to find the right editor for my YouTube channel, as well as all of my short videos. So if you're new to this and you're like, yes, I want to be able to hire someone to edit for YouTube, edit for TikTok or Instagram, then I'm going to give you all the goods in today's episode. So first things first, it's important to know that I have 11 points that I'm going to make today. It's not going to be long, but I'm going to make 11 points. That way, you know, if you're following along, whether on YouTube or on the podcast, that you can follow along with what I'm talking about. Okay, first things first, in order to hire a good video editor, you have to do your job first and you have to create a job description. Okay. I know it sounds like, oh, I'm just going to post a job or go to fiverr.com. You can definitely do that. But if your goal is to have someone with you for forever and for you to make it easier the next time maybe you hire a second editor, or if something doesn't work out with the first editor, that you have some type of process in place. I know we don't really like to talk about processes, but when you have a process, then it's repeatable. Okay. So first things first, you want to identify and create a job description. And it's not just editing videos. No, what exactly do you need them to do? Because when you actually do go and post a job somewhere, they're going to ask you for a job description. So go ahead and write that. Now, when it comes to our job description, I knew that first we had to tell the editor who we are and what we do, what kind of videos that we create. And so I had to let them know that I teach social media. I have videos on YouTube. I have short videos, and I'm very, very meticulous in terms of what I like to see in my videos. I also had to tell them, like, we put out these many YouTube videos per month, these many videos per week, and these many short videos per month. Okay. And I had to explain what I was looking for. We're looking for someone who knows how to use CapCut and Adobe Premiere. We're looking for someone that knows how to do B-roll, someone that knows how to have fun with editing when watching a video, and someone that is fluent English, right? Because if you're going to post on an international job board, you want to make sure you can communicate with that person, right? Because it's like, whatever your language is, mine is English, that person has got to be able to be fluent with me, because if it's hard for me to understand them and them understand me, then we're going to have a problem when it comes to actually doing the job. So the first thing, of course, is the job description. Now, the second thing that you want to do is create brand and video editing guidelines. Okay. So most of us with a company, we have brand guidelines in general. We have our fonts, we have our colors, our do's and don'ts, but you have to identify, what does that look like for a video editor? Okay. Like, yes, you've got your colors, but you've got to create, like, it has to be a video editing guideline, period, right? So we have the overall Keenya Kelly guidelines, but we had to then take what was in there and turn it into the video editing, right? Because there's certain things in the main guidelines that person doesn't need. So we had to turn it into just a video editing guideline. And we had to show them, hey, we like this, we don't like this. We like this and we don't like this. We always do this, we never do this. When it comes to B-roll, always make sure that you have Black people, white people, Asian people, male, female. We had to make that very clear. Otherwise, if someone sees me and I'm brown, they may think that they always have to have everybody that's brown, or depending on what that person's race is, where they're from, they may end up doing B-roll that looks similar to them. So we have to make that very clear in terms of, this is what we do and how we do it. You get to have creative freedom to do what you do, but you've got to stay within these guidelines. Okay. Otherwise, what happens is that this video editor comes on board, or he's doing a sample task for you and you're hating everything that they're doing. But the truth is, a lot of times, because we're not giving them any kind of parameters, and if you give them parameters, then they know exactly what to do, what to expect, so you can get what it is that you're looking for, okay? The third thing that you need to do to hire a video editor is that you have to determine what is your hourly or flat rate, okay? Now, depending upon where you're hiring, whether it's in the States or overseas, you got to figure out, like, what are people used to getting paid, for the services that you want them to do, okay? And you have to know, like, okay, what am I actually willing to spend? What is the minimum and what's the maximum, all right? Because if you don't know that and people start giving you their rates, you're either going to be upset, shocked, or whatever it is, but you have to look at your budget and you have to determine what exactly can you pay in this particular role so that you can do that and you'll have no problem, all right? Perfect. So then let's get to number 4. Number 4, you want to look for examples of what good editing and bad editing looks like, okay, to you. In our guidelines, we have pulled different YouTube videos of people that we say, this is bad editing, we don't like that. And then we've gone to YouTube channels, we say, oh my God, this is beautiful editing. And we've gone to Reels and TikToks and say, man, this is beautiful editing. And we give them examples of what is beautiful editing to us. And I explain why this and this and this is beautiful and why I don't like these things. Because again, if you're going to try to set this editor up for success, you've got to tell them as much as possible. So that way, when they start editing, they know what's going on. So you're going to have to go out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and find what you like and what you don't like, and explain in detail what you like and don't like, and put it within your guidelines. All right, let's get to number 5, post on job boards. Okay. So for us, we like to hire overseas. So we post it on onlinejobs.ph, which is the Philippines. We post it on upwork.com, which is freelancers all over the world. And then also there's a lot of different other job boards, but we always go for upwork.com and we go for onlinejobs.ph. And so then we took the job description, our hourly rate, and we posted it out there on the job boards, okay? Because you can't find people if you're not searching for them, okay? So you can go and search, but you also can just post on job boards and let them reply to you, which is always amazing because you don't have to do so much work. You can just post a job and let them respond to you, okay? But then in addition to that, when you're posting the job with a job description, put some Easter eggs in there, okay? Put in there and tell them something specific that they have to respond with. Why is that? Because you want to see if people follow directions, okay? So when you post a job, at the end of the job, say, once you read this, comment back and tell me the word onion. That's going to tell you that this person read your job description all the way through. Because when you start to work with this person as an editor, if they're not following your instructions now, your guidelines now, they're not going to follow them later. You might think that they will, but they won't, right? Because a person that really wants to do the job you want them to do and really wants a job as your editor is going to read your guidelines and is going to follow what you ask them to do. So put some type of Easter egg in there. Tell them respond with the word wicked or whatever it is. So that way you know that this person has read your full job description, okay? Next thing is that you want to go ahead and find the examples of videos that you love, that how you want them to edit. Because in the next task, which I'll go ahead and give you now, you're going to actually ask them to do a sample task, okay? So these are two things together. So one, you're going to ask them to do a sample task. But before you ask them to do that, you're going to go ahead and say, okay, here is a video of mine. So you got to create a raw video, okay? So create, I think it's number 7. Number 7? Yeah, number 7, create a raw video, okay, of yourself that you want them to edit similar to your YouTube video or your short reel. And once you got that raw video, put it in a software like Google Drive, Dropbox, or something like that. And then you want to go and find videos that match the editing style that you're looking for, okay? And you're going to ask those people that respond to you that you are interested in, because when they reply to you, you are going to take a look and see if they match the mold of what you're looking for. And then the next step from there is you want to review all the people that have applied, okay? And then you want to narrow it down based upon their portfolio, okay? Now, here we go. We're catching back up. Once you've taken a look at their portfolio and you find the people that match what it is that you're looking for, then you're going to reach out to them and you're going to talk to them. You're going to say, hey, we love your portfolio. Would you be willing to do a sample task? Ask them to do a sample 1-minute video for Reels or TikTok, and ask them to do a sample 1-minute video for YouTube, one or the other. Okay. Give them the raw video and give them your brand guidelines and give them a video that resembles what it is you're looking for, and ask them to do a sample task. Okay. Set a deadline of when you want to get it back from them. That way you know when to expect it. And then let people start to actually do the sample task. Okay. Now, the next thing, once you start getting these sample tasks back, then you want to review them and you want to determine of what they did with your video. Does this look like what you're looking for? If not, you get to tell them, hey, thank you so much for the sample task. This doesn't actually fit what we're looking for. And then you move on. The ones that actually fit with what it is that you're looking for, then you can either ask for more revisions or you can say, all right, now let's set up an interview. Oftentimes the sample task is what narrows it all the way down. Okay. That happens to us all the time, all the way down. Then once you find that person, this is not the end. Now you're going to get them on an interview because you've got to see how are they when they're actually on video. We had a guy that edited great, but we couldn't stand him. He was so rude. And we were like, there's no way he wouldn't fit in with the team. It's just with the culture. We're not just going to hire him because he does great work if he doesn't going to fit with the culture, right? We had another guy that we hired. And when we were interviewing him, we were having a really hard time, communicating with him, but he does great work. And so we hired this person. And then after we hired them, we were having a really hard time with them because they weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. It was all this stuff was happening. And so I realized how they interview is how they're going to be, right? So once you're interviewing that person, you got to make sure that you can understand them, they can understand you, that they're pleasant and they fit in with you, with the culture of your team. And then from there, you go ahead and you make your final decision. Okay. So when we're having our final interviews with our editors that we want to hire, we go over their sample tasks with them, right? I'll say, hey, so this is what you did. I love this, and this about the videos. Here's what I didn't like so much. Okay. The last time we were doing a round of interviews, I invited my 2 social media managers and my online business manager to be on the interview because I was training them how to see what it is that I want them to see. And I told that persons that, hey, they're going to review your content for you. They're going to be kind with their words, with what they like, and then they're going to give you some constructive. And each member of the team was evaluating the video. And that way the editor got to get praised by multiple people and they got feedback to what to do better from multiple people. Okay. And it already let them see if they can fit in with the culture. We had people who, when we were giving them constructive, they just went silent. They just couldn't even handle the constructive. And it was like, okay, so we knew that this wasn't going to work because we're going to tell them what we don't like about their content. It's just the name of the game. It's my video. I'm paying for it. So I get to tell you what I like. And we had somebody who just could not handle it. We were really nice to them, but it was a very unique experience, right? And so once the person is on that call and you're like, okay, this is great. You get back with your team and you make a decision. Then now you go and have another call with that person and you let them know that you want to hire them. Once they say, okay, they want to start, now you've got to onboard them. Okay. So now you've got to have a meeting where you are taking it step by step by step by step through the brand guidelines and not just handing them a document, but what you like, what you don't like, reminding them of what you liked and didn't like about their sample task, reminding them about the style that you like. And the first day, give them something to edit. Okay. Already have the raw video ready for them to edit. Get on the call, the onboarding call, walk them through the raw file. Okay. And one of the things that we like to do is we use a tool that's called Playbook. Playbook allows us to upload raw files and then the editor can upload his edited and then I can look at the edits and then right at the timestamp, I can say, do this, don't do that. Do this, don't do that. Right there at the timestamp, which is so good for the editor and for the team to go back and see what the edits that we wanted to have happen, right? And so the first day that person comes on board, walk them through that process. Then give them a video to edit. However, do not have them edit that whole video. Let them know that they're going to edit 1 minute of that raw video, right? And then once they're finished with it, they're going to alert you and you're going to give them feedback. And you're going to keep doing that with them for the next couple of weeks until they just really get it down how to edit your videos. That's the best way to hire and onboard somebody. That way, you're setting yourself and your company up for success. You're setting the editor up for success, and you get exactly what it is that you want. So I know this may have been a lot, right? But this is the process that we have been going through to find someone to edit videos for me for YouTube, to edit me for short videos. And it's not easy because we've been going through this process for quite some time, but it's definitely beneficial. Okay. If you found this valuable here on YouTube, make sure you ask me any questions in the comments. Also, I have 2 videos that post every single week, every Monday and Thursday. If you're listening to the show, the If You Create It show, please make sure to write a review. We thrive off of the reviews we get from this show, and we don't get very many. So please write a review. Okay. So thank you so much for listening and watching.